Hey friends, welcome to Speak English Podcast, the place where learning English feels fun, not stressful. I'm David, and I'm so excited to be here with my amazing co-host, Sarah.
Thanks, David. Hi, everyone. It's wonderful to join you. I love meeting people who are ready to learn and improve, and today's episode is going to help you move forward in English.
Have you ever studied for hours but felt stuck, like your progress was too slow? Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, we'll uncover the major mistakes secretly holding back your English.
And once you understand these mistakes, you'll unlock a faster, smoother path to fluency. So stick with us. The insights we'll share might completely change the way you study.
But before we dive in, a quick reminder. Hit that like button and subscribe right now. It doesn't just help the channel, it connects you with thousands of learners worldwide.
Exactly. And by staying tuned, you'll always get fresh ideas and smarter ways to learn. So let's jump in and begin eliminating the mistakes that stop you from learning English.
The technique we're going to explore today is something I like to call the mistake elimination strategy. Rather than constantly adding more grammar drills, vocabulary lists, or complex rules, the idea is to identify the biggest things draining your progress and simply stop doing them. Think of it as removing heavy weights so you can walk freely.
Exactly, David. Many learners think that progress means piling up more textbooks, apps, and exercises, but often their growth is blocked because they're repeating small, unhelpful habits every single day. If you cut those habits, your improvement suddenly becomes much more visible, and the effort you put in finally feels rewarding rather than frustrating.
Here's the key. It's not about blaming yourself for past mistakes. It's about recognizing which behaviors give little return and which bring real results. For example, if you spend hours rewriting the same notes but never practice speaking, that effort does not multiply your skills. Eliminating those actions frees your focus for what really moves you forward.
That's right. And the beautiful part is that it doesn't require dramatic changes, but rather very small shifts in awareness. If you stop translating everything in your head, for instance, you immediately gain speed in conversation. These are small adjustments, yet they completely transform the way your brain processes English, saving both time and energy.
It's like redecorating a house. You don't necessarily need to buy new furniture when the problem is a few unnecessary objects blocking the flow. Once you remove clutter, suddenly the room feels more open and easy to live in. Language learning works in the same way. Eliminate obstacles, and suddenly your progress feels more natural and less forced.
Another important point is that elimination creates space for positive routines. When you no longer waste time memorizing endless isolated words, you have more energy to enjoy conversations, listen to podcasts, or repeat useful phrases in context. This balance of subtraction and addition lets learners feel motivated instead of exhausted.
Many learners tell me they feel they lack talent, but usually it's not about talent at all. It's about hidden mistakes that nobody pointed out to them. The moment you shine a light on these habits, you realize you're perfectly capable. The real challenge is not your ability, but the unnecessary obstacles you've been carrying along the way.
And that's why this method works worldwide, because whether you're studying at home, at school, or online, the principle is exactly the same. Remove what holds you back before you add more tasks. By doing so, English begins to feel less like a heavy subject you must study and more like a skill that naturally grows with daily experience.
Let's picture a learner who spends an entire week trying to memorize 50 difficult words from a list. They repeat them over and over, but never say them aloud, never use them in a sentence, and never hear them in context. A week later, most of those words disappear from memory, leaving the learner frustrated and convinced they're not good at English.
Now imagine another learner who studies fewer words, maybe just 10, but uses each of them naturally in short expressions and conversations. They might say the word out loud, write it in a personal sentence, or repeat it while watching something in English. These 10 words stay in their mind because they're truly connected to communication, not memorization.
Here is the difference. The first learner is trapped by the mistake of learning in isolation, treating words like items on a grocery list, while the second learner eliminates that mistake. By linking each word to real usage, their memory strengthens, their confidence grows, and learning becomes far more efficient, even with less total time spent.
It's almost like physical exercise. If you repeat a motion without purpose, your body gets bored and quickly forgets the movement. But when the exercise is connected to a real activity, like playing a game, it sticks and feels easier. The same principle applies to language. Context transforms effort into progress, and effort finally feels joyful.
Another situation is when someone spends long hours analyzing grammar rules without ever applying them in speech. They understand the rule in theory, but when conversation happens, they freeze. That is because knowledge is separated from action. The mistake is overthinking structure instead of practicing instinct. Eliminating this changes everything.
Once you let go of the obsession with rules, you can focus on patterns you hear daily in conversations and media. That way, you absorb grammar more naturally. When you've said a phrase many times, your brain knows the structure automatically without needing to pause or look at notes. It's like shifting from theory into smooth real-life usage.
I've personally seen learners reduce their study hours, yet dramatically increase results by focusing less on collecting information and more on applying what they know. It's a change in perspective. Eliminate activities that look productive but don't deliver results and replace them with high-value actions. Real progress follows naturally.
And this is encouraging because it means you don't need endless hours or superhuman memory. You just need to be conscious of the difference between busy learning and effective learning. When you notice which practice adds no value, and you dare to stop it, your available time suddenly doubles. That's the power of demonstration in action.
When you start eliminating harmful mistakes, the first benefit is clarity. Suddenly, your study sessions feel lighter and more organized. You no longer waste energy on tasks that don't truly help, so your focus sharpens. This clarity speeds up your progress and makes learning English feel less like climbing a mountain and more like following a smoother road.
Another huge benefit is confidence. Once you stop repeating unhelpful routines, you begin to see real improvement. Maybe you can join a conversation more easily or remember words without hesitation. These small victories build a sense of, I can actually do this. Confidence creates motivation, and motivation helps you stay consistent day after day.
Eliminating mistakes also saves time, and this is a powerful advantage. Instead of working twice as hard for half the results, you start working smarter. Imagine freeing up an hour you used to spend memorizing isolated lists and replacing it with speaking practice. That one small change already gives you visible progress in a much shorter period.
The process also reduces frustration. Many learners quit because they feel stuck or overwhelmed, but the truth is they were unknowingly stuck in a cycle of ineffective habits. Once you cut those habits out, the weight disappears. Suddenly, the idea of I'm not improving is replaced with, wow, I can really grow, bringing back joy to the journey.
There's also the benefit of stronger memory. When you allow yourself to focus only on what matters, like listening, repeating, and using words in real contexts, your brain naturally stores information longer. Memory works better when it has meaning, and eliminating useless tasks makes room for meaningful practice, which creates lasting knowledge.
Another benefit is efficiency for long-term progress. Instead of burning out because your study feels endless, you can actually sustain your practice over months or years. With less wasted effort, you get into a rhythm where learning feels like a natural part of life. That consistency is what truly carries you toward fluency in the end.
And let's not forget enjoyment. When English is no longer about forcing yourself into repeated mistakes, it actually becomes fun. You feel freer to play with the language, laugh at little errors, and explore new ideas. Enjoyment is not just decoration, it is fuel. The more fun the process, the longer you will stay motivated to learn every day.
To sum it up, Eliminating mistakes doesn't mean losing something. It's the opposite. It means gaining time, confidence, motivation, memory, consistency, and joy. It transforms the whole experience of learning from stressful to exciting. These benefits are what make this strategy so powerful for learners all around the world.
The first step is awareness. You cannot change what you don't see, so start by observing your current study habits carefully. Ask yourself, what do I do every day that doesn't really help me improve? This might be memorizing random lists, overusing grammar explanations, or studying silently without practice. Awareness is the foundation to progress.
The second step is choosing just one habit to work on, not 10. Many learners overwhelm themselves by trying to change everything at once, which only creates extra stress. Instead, pick the biggest mistake that wastes your time. For example, if you often avoid speaking out loud, decide that this week you will eliminate silence and start using your voice.
Step 3 is replacement. Negative habits are easier to remove when something positive takes their place. If your habit was always translating in your head, replace that with building short, direct English thoughts. If you used to memorize isolated words, replace it with repeating useful sentences. Substitution is more powerful than simple elimination.
Step 4 is practice in small doses. Don't wait for a perfect moment or long study block. Use 5 or 10 minutes daily to practice this new routine. For example, whenever you learn a word, say it in 3 different sentences. Little practices like these are practical, achievable, and far more effective than waiting for ideal conditions that rarely arrive.
Step 5 is consistency. It's better to do a small action every day than a big action once in a while. Think of it like watering a plant. The plant doesn't need a whole bucket once a month. It needs a little water daily to stay alive. Treat your English the same way. Regular practice helps it grow naturally, while irregular effort makes it wither.
Step 6 is reflection. At the end of each week, look back at what you practiced. Ask yourself whether the new method helped you remember better or speak with greater confidence. This reflection doesn't take long, but it helps your brain confirm progress. You'll quickly notice that eliminating mistakes makes learning smoother and more enjoyable.
Step 7 is adjusting. Not every learner is the same, and your progress may highlight areas where you need to refine your practice. If something feels unhelpful, don't give up, just adjust. Maybe you need to listen more, or maybe you need to speak more. Learning is a flexible journey, and adjustments keep you moving forward with balance.
The final step is celebrating. Too often, learners focus only on what they can't do yet, forgetting the victories they've already achieved. Celebrate every improvement, even small ones, because they prove the strategy works. With these steps, awareness, focus, replacement, practice, consistency, reflection, adjustment, and celebration, you create lasting change.
One of the most common mistakes learners make is focusing too much on grammar before they can actually use it. They spend so much time studying rules, exceptions, and charts, but when it's time to speak, they freeze. To avoid this, reduce grammar study and instead use simple sentence patterns in real conversations. Practice makes rules come alive.
Another frequent mistake is studying only in silence. Many people read and listen, but they never give their mouth the chance to practice producing sounds. Without that muscle memory, fluency never develops. The solution is simple. Read out loud, imitate what you hear, and record yourself speaking. Hearing your own voice builds confidence and fluency.
A third mistake is chasing perfection. Too many learners wait until they feel ready to speak, so they delay practice for months, sometimes years. The problem is, you never feel completely ready. The way to avoid this is to accept mistakes as part of the learning process. Fluency doesn't come from perfect grammar, but from constant communication.
Learners also often focus on quantity instead of quality. They believe learning 50 new words per week is progress, even though they can't use any of them in context. This leads to frustration when words vanish from memory. The solution is depth, not speed. Learn fewer words but practice them across different sentences until they truly stick.
Another mistake is ignoring listening practice. Some learners think reading is enough, but conversation is built on listening first. Without listening, rhythm, stress, and intonation are lost. To avoid this, spend at least a little time every day listening actively, not passively. Focus on catching words, repeating them, and mimicking natural rhythm.
Many also mistake effort for results. They believe that sitting long hours with books shows dedication. But if they're practicing ineffectively, time alone doesn't guarantee progress. To avoid this, measure time in terms of what you can do afterward. For example, "I can express this idea now" is a real achievement, not just "I studied 2 hours."
Learners frequently compare themselves with others, thinking they're behind or not smart enough. This mindset crushes motivation and slows progress. Avoid this mistake by focusing on your own growth. Compare yourself with who you were last month, not with another learner. Personal progress, no matter how small, is the most valuable measure.
Finally, one of the biggest mistakes is lack of consistency. Studying in random bursts feels like starting over every time. The solution is to build a small but regular routine. Even 10 minutes daily beats hours once a month. By avoiding inconsistency, you will see steady progress and gradually build fluency without overwhelming yourself.
Now, here comes the fun part, your challenge. For the next 24 hours, I want you to become a detective of your own learning habits. Pay careful attention whenever you study or practice English, and see if you can catch yourself making one of the mistakes we just discussed. Awareness is the first victory, and noticing makes change possible.
Once you identify a mistake, don't judge yourself or feel discouraged. Instead, celebrate the fact that you caught it. This is progress. The next step is to immediately replace that mistake with a better habit. For example, if you catch yourself memorizing isolated words, instantly try building a sentence with those words out loud. Simple switch, big result.
The beauty of this challenge is that it doesn't require big-time investments or complicated tools. All it takes is awareness and a quick decision to change your action at that very moment. When you do this even once, you prove to yourself that you are capable of growth. This is about building trust in your ability to adjust and improve easily.
Think of it like a small experiment you run with yourself. You don't need to commit for the rest of your life. Just try it today. The result might surprise you. Even shifting one habit for a single day can show you how much energy you save and how quickly new ideas stick. It's like opening a window in a stuffy room and letting in fresh air.
And if you want to go further, you can extend this challenge for an entire week. Each day, focus on catching one mistake and replacing it. By the end of the week, you will have trained your brain to notice and correct behaviors automatically, almost like installing a new system that keeps you learning more effectively without extra effort.
But keep it simple at the start. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is participation. Don't feel pressure to eliminate every mistake instantly. Just focus on seeing them clearly and choosing one positive action instead. With repetition, this light daily habit becomes natural, and suddenly, English feels more like a part of your life than a subject.
Remember, this challenge is all about consistency and curiosity, not stress. If you miss once, it's okay. Just come back and try again. You will notice that by staying curious and involved, you make more progress than if you chased perfect results. Step by step, this challenge builds resilience, and resilience is the secret ingredient in fluency.
So here's your mission. Starting today, become your own coach. Watch your habits, catch the mistakes, replace them with stronger actions, and celebrate each small step. It's not about massive leaps. It's about steady growth. Take this challenge seriously, but enjoy it. And in only a few days, you'll feel proud of how far you've already come.
Today we talked about how the real secret to improving is not adding endless tasks, but eliminating the big mistakes that hold you back. We explored how these errors drain your energy and block progress, and how simply noticing and removing them clears a smoother path to real fluency in English.
We also showed practical examples so you could see the difference between busy work and effective practice. By avoiding memorization without context, reducing overthinking, and focusing on communication, learners discover faster results. These changes prove that small adjustments bring powerful transformation.
The benefits are huge. More confidence, stronger memory, saved time, less frustration, and, most importantly, consistency. By eliminating what doesn't work, you make space for habits that actually help. And when English starts feeling lighter and more enjoyable, your motivation naturally grows stronger.
And remember the step-by-step we shared. Awareness, choosing one habit, replacing it, practicing in small doses, being consistent, reflecting, adjusting, and celebrating progress. Following this simple process every day gives you a map to fluency, making each study moment count without pressure or exhaustion.
Don't forget the common mistakes to avoid: chasing perfection, ignoring listening, studying silently, or comparing yourself with others. Each time you avoid these errors, you take control of your learning. Progress is not about speed, but about direction, and cutting the wrong turns guides you straight toward English fluency.
And of course, we gave you a challenge. Become your own coach. Watch your habits, notice mistakes, and replace them with stronger actions. This daily practice may seem small, but it changes everything when repeated consistently. Over time, it rewires your learning and makes English feel natural and exciting.
If you reached this point in our episode, it's clear you are serious about improving your fluency in English. That dedication deserves applause, and we want to hear from you. So, leave us a comment sharing which mistake you discovered in your own study and what step you will take to replace it with a better habit.
And before you go, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. These actions support our work and connect you with a community of learners just like you. If you stayed until now, it means you truly want to see real progress. So join the community, take action, and let's grow your English together.